That's particularly true with sintered wheels, especially saw blades. When the diamond is sintered and embedded in the metal, while you're grinding, the metal is worn away in front of the diamond just by the ground glass that you're cutting. But it does leave, you know, if this is the diamond and the abrasion is coming this way because the wheel goes this way, it will leave metal behind it, which will support the diamond. Then if you and it'll be worn away in front of the diamond. If you reverse the direction, it'll come this way and just break the diamond off. So that's particularly true with sintered tools. Electroplated, the nickel does not really come into play with how it holds the diamond. It locks it up above, from below, and the diamond's sticking up. So there won't be a trailing edge supporting it. But that is true with sintered. With a saw blade, either find the direction that they recommend, the way the blade is dressed, or choose one side if there's no arrow on it, and then keep it that direction always. Yes, sir. Really, that comes down to what I said. We all do the same thing differently. Yeah, I've seen people with grinding wheels, whether it's slurry or diamond, they'll build like a brace wall that they can put their glass up against and grind down, and that will keep it square that way, and then keep turning it to make it square. Hand holding to keep it straight, it's just going to be practice, practice, practice. I wish there were better tricks. The question is how you grind on the wheel. If you go center to edge, stay in one place, moving around all the time. With the slurry wheels, well, with any wheel, it's important to use the whole surface. You want to use it uniformly. With diamond, you can pretty much grind all the way to the center. The center of the wheel is moving much slower than the outside. So if you're going back and forth, you might spend a little extra time in the center just to make it more uniform. But the, whoa, okay. Where'd that go? Okay, I can close this, good. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. With diamond, with slurry grinding, the grit is moving around underneath, leaves a nice, soft, sandy finish. With diamond, it's scratching, so you're always going to have the little curved scratches. When I'm doing a tall piece or any piece that I want to maintain being straight, I will try to hold it in one position, once I get the bottom flat, in one position at the end of my grind, inside, outside, somewhere. And again, trying to use the whole wheel to get all the scratches going in one direction. Then when I move to the next grit, I'll turn it 90 degrees. When I do that, I'm putting different force on the glass, but the scratches will be going across and be a cross mark until all the old scratches are gone. Then you'll know you've gone far enough. It is important to use the whole surface of the wheel. The one where you saw me going round and round on that was the polishing step, and that's less critical. And I find I can, work against the wheel and get a little more action when I move around the wheel. When I'm grinding with diamond, you don't go all over the wheel and keep turning your piece because you'll have scratches with all directions. And when you go to the next step, it's difficult to know if you've gotten all the old scratches out because they're going in all the different directions. It's nice when it's a single pattern. Did that answer? Yes, sir. Slurry wheels are notorious for working in the sweet spot. You don't like working on both edges, so it'll dish. And that's impossible to avoid. Till now, it's been manageable by taking the wheel head off and getting the thing Blanchard ground flat again. I'm developing a tool that is a round steel plate with diamond segments around the bottom. It'll be a little larger than the grinding area on your wheel. If you've got a Steiner wheel, it's got the well in the center, so you've got maybe 14 inches that you're grinding. I would make a 16-inch plate that you can put barbell weights on for extra weight. You can go to your local used sports store for those. And it's got a shaft, and you can hold it, and it will spin and grind the top of the plate. If you, it's not for repairing a wheel. If it's badly out of shape, it should be Blanchard ground. But this is more for maintenance, to prevent wearing a sweet spot. Once you, if you can measure it, if you've got feeler gauges or whatever, once it's off by maybe 0.004, grind it with this for 10, 20 minutes and it'll be flat again. And you'll be able to maintain your flatness. They're also doable in the reciprolaps. Reciprolap will also get panned, dished, and this can be used for that as well. Yes, ma'am. I wouldn't do it. Talking about grinding on the edge of tempered glass, coffee table, conference table, whatever. Tempered glass, once it's tempered, is very happy the way it is. You may be able to get away with it. I would not gamble it. The glass, before it gets sent off to be tempered, should be the way you want it. That's the only way to do it. Yes, ma'am. Well, with the drill press, WD-40 is your friend. The question is maintaining or maintenance on your machinery. The manufacturer of the machine should be able to provide some maintenance directions. Manufacturers of machinery are notoriously bad for that. And I would almost say a lot of it comes down to common sense. If it moves, oil it. Drill press, oil every bit of metal that could get wet from drilling to keep it from rusting. Like the ring saws, there is maintenance required with that, and that manufacturer is good with that kind of material. But yeah, it's a lot of it is logic. My belt sander is probably 30 years old, and I bought it used, and I've got to get into it periodically just to tighten up nuts and bolts and paint it where it's rusting. It's just normal housekeeping. The question is recommending, what you recommend for the diamond saws for lubrication. Are you talking about lubrication in the water?
It's coming with the lid.
So you're talking about lubrication in the liquid. Yeah. There are a number of people making stuff. Do I have a recommendation? No. I would, again, try to contact whoever manufactured it with a clipper or whoever.
Rock saw type people have lubricants for rocks. I wonder if they would work for flat.
Comparing lapidary to glass, I think in the lubricant it would probably be fine. I know some people use diesel oil, and there are lubricants that are water soluble. For that, I would probably contact some lapidary shop. We do sell one. If I can say it's the best or not, I don't know. It's probably the only one that I know, and we don't sell much of it. Mostly with glass, people are using just water. Just water. Now, in those large saws, I can see where a coolant would be advisable, and I don't have the experience with that. Sorry. Yes, sir. A source for saw blades. I will have some handouts here. I printed out 50, so they're probably not enough for everybody. But I'm going to have on my website my list of suppliers that is open for you, and I'm one of many listed. But people are using tile saws that chip horribly. It really all depends on what you want. We offer many different saw manufacturer blades, so we distribute for a number of them. And again, different blades are for different uses, so whether it's myself or some other glass supply where you can buy saw blades, what's really important is you specifically tell them what you're cutting, how thick it is, the kind of glass, all these things, and if they're knowledgeable about blades, they'll come back with one or two recommendations. Some companies like MK will make tile blades, blades for sawing concrete, and glass blades, and they're all have their quirks and differences that make one more appropriate for glass than not.